Hey guys, Brazen here, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Crown of the Immaculate Extreme. You gotta be level 80 to enter. We're going to talk about the phases, the boss abilities, and hopefully after this guide's over, you'll be able to destroy this trial with no problem. Alright, let's get started. You can enter this extreme after reaching level 80 and eye level 430. You can also successfully beat this extreme at eye level 430. The rewards are 4 accessories that all drop at the same time, a 100% chance at an Immaculate Totem which will allow you to get 1 accessory once you get 5, a chance at a medal, a chance at a card, and a chance at a mount. This fight is separated in 3 different phases. The first phase is really easy, and the boss starts with Shadow Reaver, which is an unavoidable AoE damage spell. Healers just have to either prep shield for it or heal through it. Winged Reprobation chooses 2 non-tank classes with 2 markers. Each player has to run as far as they can to avoid dying while being conscientious of where they're choosing to go, because if that Path of Fire hits one of your allies, you're going to give them a damage increase debuff, which is really bad, especially if it's a tank. Watch where you go with it, and if you don't have it, don't get hit by it. Next up is Righteous Bolt. This is the Tank Buster tank swap. When the tank gets hit by this ability, he gets a debuff that will essentially let the boss kill him with even 1 hit. The off tank needs to Vogue as soon as he sees that Righteous Bolt cast, throw your weapon skills out, and once the main tank sees that you Vogue, throw a shirk on the off tank, switch as soon as possible or someone will die. Rightful Reprobation is kind of tricky because when you see those green lines, the green indicators, you're going to dodge them in order not to get hit, right? Don't go back to the same spot in order to reposition yourselves, and don't forget where they were at because they actually come back a few seconds later. So if you dodge them and you're in a safe zone, stay in that safe zone, because if they come back and you go right back into them, not only are you going to get hit, but you're going to get a damage increase debuff, and that's not good. Next is Winged Reprobation. You guys already saw this with the tethers, but just because it's the same name doesn't mean it's the same mechanic for this fight. The boss drops 3 lines on the ground. You can tell how this one's going to go because the lines are curved in a certain direction. Like they're leaning towards the right in this part, that's why it's moving towards the right. If the curves are leaning towards the left, they're going to move to the left. If you get hit by it, you're going to get a damage increase debuff, so don't do that, that's really bad. During this curved line mechanic too, you're going to see 2 people get chosen with a marker. That one's just simple. Just don't hit anybody with it and try your best to dodge at the same time. Alright, this Winged Reprobation is also a little different too. The boss is going to drop yellow lines, which is just standard, don't get hit by them, but it's also going to drop green lines too. So dodge the green lines, remember where the green lines were, keep dodging the yellow, they come in different sequences, and don't walk back to where the green lines were. While dodging yellow, you might just see yourself walking right back into the green spot, so try your best to remember where they were. With the average DPS, the boss is going to be between 65% and 68%. That marks the first part of second phase, which is the ad phase. 3 ads will spawn, 1 in the east, 1 in the west, and 1 in the south. Both tanks are going to pick up the east and west ad, while the DPS and healers focus on the ad that spawns in the south. Each time an ad dies, it empowers the remaining living ads. While that's happening, the ads are doing tank busters called Holy Sword, so try your best to DPS the south one as fast as you can so nobody dies. Switch to the next one, focus on that as fast as you can, and focus on the last one as fast, especially since the last one is going to be extremely buffed. Kill that one as fast as you can too. When that happens, gather middle, throw out AoE shields, AoE mitigations, and get ready for the last phase, because this is when the fight really starts. In the beginning of the last phase, Starbirth is the first ability that's being casted. The boss summons 3 stars as the first Starbirth, and you have to find the safe zone immediately. If you're tanking the boss, you can actually move the boss as soon as he's done casting, and the boss will actually move with you, so the DPS don't, well, obviously I'm such a great example, right? But but you go to the corner, bring the boss, and go right back in the middle. Those things explode so big in such a large radius, you do not want to be anywhere near them. You're going to see Starbirth quite a bit more too. That was just the first one. Going to the next part, Rightful Reprobation is an over-the-map circular green line mechanic, and you know those things will come back. When you see them, don't move. Even if you don't know what this next thing is, just don't move. Stand still and don't get yourself killed. If you're used to this fight and you're pretty experienced and you're knowledgeable about what's going on, obviously start moving if you know what you're doing. The next attack, Beatific Vision, the boss is essentially going to rush down through the middle, and the closer you are to the center or to him, the harder it's going to hit. So the second that you're able to do it without being in harm's way, get as far as you can into the center of the edges. When the boss begins to cast Starbirth for the second time, this isn't going to be the same one you saw earlier. It's going to instead spawn 2 stars and mark 2 non-tank classes with 2 marks. You have to bring the marks to the edge of the map because you don't want to overlap the party, and this is very important. Don't overlap the radius of the mark with the star. If you guys hit the stars with the circle of the mark mechanic, you'll explode the star and it'll kill people in your party, and if it doesn't kill them, it gives them a huge damage debuff. Now also, after the second mark mechanic goes off, because it happens once and it happens twice, after the second one goes off, stack on the party and take that stack mechanic and help the person who got marked and make sure no one dies, heal the party up, and immediately go to the side of the map and do not hit the star with the stack mechanic. It will activate it too. After having already done the Starbirth mechanic, get ready for Beatific Vision version 2. Get to the edge of the map, don't be close enough to the boss where you die, and don't be close enough to the star where the star kills you. Try to be in the middle as best you can with shields and everything. When the boss casts Rifle Reprobation, which is the green reappearing lines in this part, be careful when you dodge them, and be careful when you get ready for God Ray's radius mechanic. There's a gap in God Ray where you think you're safe, and if you try to put yourself in there and you totally forget about the green lines, you might get killed. So just remember, try to etch in your head, try to like convince yourself, hey, like I gotta remember where those lines are before I even do anything. And if you wait just a moment, wait for those green lines to go off before you jump into that gap. Alright guys, this is probably the hardest part of the last phase, this third version of Starbirth. Now when the boss casts this version of Starbirth, 4 stars get summoned on each corner of the map. There's no safe zones at this point, as you can see. You know these things explode really large. So what happens is the tank brings the boss to a certain point. Most of the time it's the most northern point. Brings the boss to this point between 2 stars. He summons a light pillar mechanic, so everyone has to stack. Not only do you have to stack, but you have to stack close to the boss, because what happens is that stack pillar shoots out a laser, and what you have to do is point that laser to a star, blow up that star, don't get hit by the star because it's huge and it's going to blow up, and when that happens you create a safe zone for you and your party. So see, star explodes, safe zone happens, the party runs to that safe zone as soon as they can, because what happens is the stars are going to explode right after and you don't want to be caught in that. So if you guys can get past that last mechanic, it's smooth sailing here on out. The boss is going to keep doing the same mechanics over and over again until it gets to the point where it does a Starbirth and it summons these 4 stars. But don't be too worried. It's not like the version 3 of Starbirth where you had to like move the boss and do all that laser stuff. Just keep the DPS on the boss, keep up the DPS, keep dodging stuff, don't die. And eventually the boss is going to do one last Beatific Vision. This is the Enrage. So your job is to try to get that boss dead before the rage happens. Thanks again guys for coming back to my crappy new channel and watching my stupid videos. I'm going to keep coming out with more. If you guys have any critiques or comments, please leave it in the comment section. I'm genuinely interested in what you guys think. I'm also on Behemoth. My name is Hokage Brazen if anybody wants to say hi. And yeah, if you guys like what you saw, just hit like and subscribe, and I guess I'll talk to you guys later.